Thank you guys for being here. I have a lot of respect for Charmin, and that Cal team is a much improved basketball team, and just want to give compliments and shout out to them. And they put us in tough positions, and they did a great job finding some mismatches off of our switches, and Charmin has really taken them in a great direction. Bottom line, I have charisma. They don't. That's the bottom line. And charisma, I just think time and time again, she did it off the post up, she did it off the bounce, she did it with the three ball, and she did it with her defense. And that's just a huge piece for us. And when we were having a hard time getting rhythm on the offensive end in the first half, charisma just carried us and put us on her back, and she's becoming a theme. But just really just a compliment to her and how she played.
Coach, so in addition to the 32 points, Charisma also led in assists. So can you talk a little bit about, not just her ability to create her own shots, but also, simultaneously create shots for her teammates?
Yeah, I think that's really huge for us. So that's something that we've been missing that we've been one of the top in the country on percentage of assisted baskets, and took a little dip, and I don't think there's any coincidence that's where we've struggled a little bit. But quite frankly, we've had to revamp how we're playing offensively in the last, couple of weeks, and, we've just had to really be very guard-oriented, creating mismatches that we like in two-player games and getting our guards downhill. And that's been a big switch in how we were playing earlier in the year. So I think it just has taken us some time to figure out what our looks are going to be. But 17 assists is a huge thing for us, and the percentage of assisted baskets. And honestly, that has been, she can tell you from my film clips that's been where I've challenged her the most, is to get back to being an elite rebounder as well, but being a great passer, to facilitate her excellent offensive efficiency in scoring for the sake of everybody else.
On the rebounding note, UCLA's lead the country in rebounding margin, but without Lauren, what adjustments have you had to make with both your guards and your forwards to pressure the glass?
There's two parts of that. One is I really want to give a shout out to Christine Walla today. I just thought she was not only a really good rebounder, but most players stay after practice and they work on their shot or they work on their offense. Every single day this week, her and Amanda Muse have stayed after and worked on their ball screen defense and post defense. And it transferred over, and it also put them in positions to get more rebounds. I thought, Christine's offensive rebound that was huge. There was a scruffle on the floor, and her energy. Next two possessions, we got 3-point shots. I don't think that's a coincidence because of her energy and the extra possession that she got. So I think it's everybody. But also to that, I really challenged our guards that Kiki, Charisma, London, they had to bring us more rebounding help. And, quite frankly, guards were picking on offensive rebounding, and really challenged them to not give up back doors and to get better in terms of our assist box outs. And they've gotten better. I think we still have a little ways to go, but they're making strides.
Charisma, we've seen you have huge scoring performances like you did tonight, but I don't know if, at least personally, I've seen you hit that many contested shots, fading, hands in your face. At one point tonight, did you know that you were feeling it and really going to take a shot regardless if there was a hand in your face, two hands in your face, post fadeaway, regardless? It just seemed like you seemed extra confident tonight.
Yeah, I think when the first one went, I was like, okay. But I think Coach T has really been just emphasizing us guards being aggressive to attack, to get to our and Coach Corey too, to get to our shots. And I think my teammates put me in good positions, and Coach Corey was calling plays that were getting me to those shots. So I was just really confident, and once the first couple went in, I was like, okay, I'll keep going and keep doing that.
Charisma, you were the focal point of Cal's defense like you often are, and you found a dozen different ways to score. It seems like the best women's players out there, like Sabrina and Eskew and others like her, are really creative at finding different ways to put the ball in the bucket. Is that something that you have continued to work on throughout your career, and is it something you think will get you to the next level at a successful level?
Yeah, I think so. I think I try my best to be a 3-level scorer so that I can shoot on the outside, get to the basket, and also the mid-range. And I think our coaches do a great job of working on that with all of us guards. And it wasn't just me. DZ was getting shots, and Gabs was getting shots, and other people as well. But I think just continuing to work on that so that I can be efficient when I do shoot those shots.
And every time Cal made a run, you guys, it seemed like turned it around almost immediately. Is that something you've been doing all season?
Yeah, I think, like Coach Corey said, I think it's especially,
Sorry.
especially that play with Christine. Like, she was so hyped, and I think it was like me, Cam, Angela, and Christine on the court, and DZ. And that just got us so like motivated on defense to go and get stops, and then we were getting easy baskets, 2 possessions in a row. But I think really just like Christine like really helped with that.
Coach, what's it like just watching Charisma when she's making like 7 straight points, 8 straight points? What's going through your mind on the sideline?
I better not screw this up. That's really, but honestly, there's so many different plays. We wanted to mix it up. So our team did a really good job out of timeouts or dead ball situations. That allows me to sort of script different ways for her to get shots. And so in the first half, we ran having her come off flare screens, then we brought her back off of handoff situations, and we have sort of a double flare that leads to a ball screen situation. We just were able to do that, but she can't do that just on her own. We need our team. But honestly, I could tell really early on she was feeling in a rhythm, in a zone, and for me, it's let her go. We need to call plays that put her in situations, but I don't need to overcoach at that point. I need to get her the ball in spots that I know she likes and let her make plays.
Sorry, Coach. So London had 15 of her 18 points in the second half. Was there any kind of shift for her at halftime, intensity-wise, or did shots just kind of start falling?
Yes, quite frankly, yes. I thought I really challenged her at halftime that there's more in her. Her defensive pressure wasn't quite what we're used to seeing from her. Her ability to read screens. We had some miscues in the first half, and I just believe in London Jones so much. But London Jones can't be a player that goes halfway at all. She's got to have that dog, that chip that she sort of flourishes under, right? You can see it in her. You can see when she sort of gets that mojo going. And, I didn't think she was as assertive. I thought she was letting the game happen to her instead of dictating how the game was happening on both sides of the ball in the first half, and really challenged her at halftime. Like, this is your half, new half, let's get after this thing. And she really did respond in the second half.
Coach, I'm not sure if you saw that Stanford fell tonight to USC. How do you think, going into Sunday now in Palo Alto, how does that change things, just knowing that Stanford, a great team, is coming off a loss, and changes anything at all?
I think the bottom line is that this conference is really, really good, and there's going to be teams that are coming off of losses, and so I think that USC is a really good team, Stanford's a really good team, so are we, and I think that all I'm caring about right now is controlling our preparation. That's all I can control. And, I've been coaching against Stanford long enough that they'll respond, but I can't control their response, but I can control ours, and we can control our preparation. I also believe that, guard play, I remember way back when we were in the Cayman Islands, everybody was talking about our post play. And I turned to the media and I said, we will go as Charisma and Kiki to go, and our guard play go, not as our forwards go. And I think that's what you're seeing is that at this time of year, you are led by your guards. And I feel really good about our guards.
We're just one more for Charisma. How do you balance just like elite offensive production and getting those looks on offense with really tough defensive assignments, every time?
Yeah, I think honestly just playing hard. Like, I'm not really thinking about offense while I'm on defense or vice versa. Just thinking about how can I get a stop on defense or how can I get a good shot on offense.
Mm-hmm. Really appreciate you guys being here, Daily Bruin, for making the trip up. But, honestly, like this even though the Pac-12 isn't going to be around, the people that support these women in these schools are going to be around. And we got to keep growing our game. And we got to keep telling these stories. And also want to give a shout out to the crowd and their pink game. And, Play for K is a really big deal and around the country. And we have to raise money for women's cancer research. And I thought the crowd was great tonight. The theme was great tonight. And it's a worthwhile cause, and we've got to get behind it. So thanks, everybody, for telling that story as well, because it's really important along with the performance in the play. Thank you for everybody.